First and foremost, let me say Happy New Year, everyone. Second off, let me say it's time to talk about the top 5 fusion monsters that we're going to see post Master Rule 5. What's going on, you guys? Yeah, the video title says it all. We did the first episode on the top 5 synchro monsters that I felt are going to make a big return once Master Rule 5 comes into effect. I know it's not till April 1st, but we're already in January, so it's getting closer than you think. I'm super excited for this. I know a lot of you are. I think, again, it's going to just revolutionize the game, bring the game back to its old roots, and I just cannot wait to see all the crazy decks that come back. Not only that, is fusion monsters are really some of the biggest victims along with synchros. Is fusions were never really super popular. I think the closest this format of course has been Thunder Dragons, but with the release of basically the monsters zones, you could say, in April 1st, we're going to see a huge resurgence of decks. And this is the top 5 list that we put together here on the community tab and everything, and on Reddit. So shout out to all you guys for your contributions. You guys seem pretty well rounded when it came to your choices. I really like a lot of them. They make a lot of sense, and I think some of these are definitely cards you guys should pick up and should definitely have for when the new Master Rule drops, because I feel like these cards aren't going to get hit in particular. Well, there's one in particular that might get hit, but other than that, I feel that they will stand the test of time and also be played in the new formats. Yeah, so we're getting into it. So there is no particular order. Not one is better than the other, but I'm going to be biased because it's my video, and I'm going to start with my baby Thunder Dragon Colossus. Now, fun fact, this is the only one on the list I feel is going to get affected by the ban list. There's no denying Thunder Dragon Colossus is insane. I've said it a million times. We've seen it in action, and while the deck doesn't have the heaviest representation, it is still an extremely powerful card. Bigger Thunder King Ryo, the ability to just protect itself. The opponent really struggles against this card. In Master Rule 5, literally it's been said already, a normal summon Solar and a Hawk equals triple Colossus without even going into Link monsters, without doing anything. And that's just the beginning. The rest of your hand can be insane, and you can build a whole board of fusions. And I feel that Colossus is still going to be insane. Now, do I feel that it's going to last at 3 on the new ban list? I do not. I feel like this card will be hit, unfortunately. You guys know. Do I think it will go to 1? Possibly. Do I feel that they'll mimic the OCG? Again, possibly. I think that if they don't hit it to 1, they might hit it to 2, but I don't really know what that will do, because we've seen the deck's been able to play 2 copies before, the ability to play even 1. I feel that even at 1, Thunder Dragons will still do something. They'll still be playing Titan. They'll still be doing something with Colossus, and they'll still be finding a way to make it work. So while it is one of my absolute favorite cards, I can definitely see that after all this time it does get touched on the list, because with Master Rule 5, it's going to be insane. The deck is going to be absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to be one of the best decks if it doesn't get addressed on the ban list. But I had to put it here because you guys already know it's one of my favorite cards of all time. Next, I've got Millennium Restrict. So this card is really cool. So this card saw play in Mech Knight Invoked a long time ago, and it went in and out. Most players would usually go for Thousand Eyes Restrict. The ability to just steal a monster, create a column was insane. However, Millennium Restrict is awesome. Another great instant fusion target, because its ability to negate hand traps is ridiculous. The fact that it can actually negate something on the field or something in the opponent's graveyard is ridiculous. It equips it. The opponent completely cannot use that card. I think this card is really underrated, and I think we've already seen, if you've been watching the market watches, we've seen just how much this card has gone up, and I think that it's definitely a card you guys should have in your arsenal. It's another really good instant fusion target. I think that's one of the main things. You want to have some of the best instant fusion targets around. I don't know if instant fusion again will not get hit on the list, especially there will be probably 1 or 2 lists before this Master Rule goes into effect, but I think that it's going to be crazy when a lot of players see that they had Thousand Eyes Restrict, they have access to Millennium Restrict. You have a lot of really good instant fusion targets. Is definitely one of them. The ability to just play through your combos safely with Millennium Restrict is insane. So I definitely see a lot of players picking up this card, testing it out in decks, and just seeing what it can do. You can also just link away with it like you do when you continue your combo, and it's just insane. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, definitely pick up your copy, you guys. It's very important that you have it. You'd rather have it than not have it. So I think Millennium Restrict is going to be a great card coming in April with the new Master Rule. Next, I've got, basically it's kind of a tie. I had to put them together, but I got the 2 badasses of Shaddolls. I've got El Shaddol Construct and El Shaddol Winda. So I put them together just for the fact that we do have the structure deck coming out. Also, these cards are just insane. Construct is finally back at 3, and Winda is just an amazing card. We've already seen its power in the Orcus deck, and I know a lot of players are going to continue to utilize that. I wanted to put them together just because, especially with dedicated Shaddol players. I don't really know which one they're going to play more. I think obviously they're going to be played the most. I think back in the day we played 3 construct and 2 window. We could see that same ratio again. The ratio may change. You know, the new cards in the structure deck will add, you know, new weapons that you can use in the deck. So it's definitely going to be different to see what, you know, what Shaddolls do. I definitely wanted to include them though on this list because I know just how popular Shaddolls have been in the past. I know people have been waiting for the ability to play them for so long, and now that Master Rule 5 will basically release Shaddolls to what they were before, even though the formats are completely different, I could still see Construct and Window putting in some work. So again, I'm a huge Shaddol fan. For those of you who don't know, I think Shaddolls are amazing. I played Shaddolls back in the day, and I'm super excited for the ability to play them again. I don't care if they're tier 1 or tier 5, they're going to be just a really fun deck to play. So I'm super excited to see what Shaddolls do in the upcoming format. Next, I've got, of course, Darklaw. Darklaw. It didn't matter even in Master Rule, this Master Rule right now. I've still encountered Darklaw, man. Like, Darklaw is still insane, and the fact that you'll be able to span Darklaw along with everything else in the hero deck is nuts. I highly suggest you guys keep an eye on heroes. I think that deck is really, really underrated, and I think it's gonna definitely be one of the best decks in the format. They keep getting more support. They keep getting cards released off the list. I think the deck is just insane. Like, I've played against it multiple times already, and I'm actually very impressed by what it can do. Darklaw is already a pain if you're playing a deck that gets hurt by by banishing your cards. Salamangreat, Orcus, you never really get your graveyard, so that really sucks. The fact that you can just set your opponent up into it, the fact that Darklaw can snipe a card when you try to search, like, there are so many crazy things about this card that I really like, and I think that old school hero players are definitely going to come back and they're going to utilize this card as much as they did then, and even more so now. The ability to span multiple fusions, multiple XYZs, whatever you want in the hero deck post April 1st is going to be nuts. And again, I'm a huge fan of Darklaw. It turns off the whole graveyard. It's insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. I'll even admit, when I played the Minerva deck back in the day and I had to play against Darklaw, obviously one of the worst matchups, the ability to hopefully draw snow or find a way to out Darklaw was so hard. If you didn't have it, like, you really just couldn't play. And I would be interesting to see if we see that happen again, to where they have a Darklaw and a Plasma and all these other cards, and they really just set you up for, you know, the ability that you just can't play out of it. So hero players will finally get their chance. It's been so long, so I'm super excited for that. And for all the hero players out there, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So huge fan of that. And next I have Starving Venom, Dragon, I guess all the Super Poly targets. I'm going to have Starving Venom basically represented. So Super Poly has been insane upon its release. Why it's at 3, I still don't know. I still can't figure that out, to be honest. I don't know why that card is still at 3. So insane at breaking boards, so insane at just, you know, countering your opponent as they're going off. It is a necessary evil for sure with Orcus, with Thunder Dragons, with all these decks in the format. Being able to break their board is insane. I would say that Starving Venom, along with Violet Chimera, along with Mud Dragon of the Swamp, along with all the Super Poly targets, are going to be some of the most played fusions, even in Master Rule 5. Now, do I think Super Poly will get hit again? I think it should. I don't think it will, but it's definitely something that could potentially happen. But I would still say have all your Super Poly targets on deck. You still need them for the next couple months. There are still more events before this Master Rule does go into effect, so it's important that you guys do have access to these cards, especially if you are playing Super Poly. So very important that you guys remember to have these cards, because I think that having played Grand Maju, I think Super Poly is so ridiculous. Just being able to go second, break the board with Super Poly by itself, and sometimes trigger a danger at the same time is just so ridiculous. You just get so much advantage that, I mean, I absolutely love it. So I'm a huge fan of that, and I definitely look forward to what you know, Super Poly will do for the rest of, you know, this format, post the ban list, and then of course in Master Rule 5. So super excited for that. Now, those are basically the top 5, and I have one more card that I have to mention because I feel it would be an injustice to not mention this card. All of you mentioned this, and the thing is, I don't know when we're getting this card, but we got to talk about Dragoon of Red Eyes. So I know a bunch of channels have been making videos on this. This card is ridiculous. I know you have to play bricks in your deck, but this card is insane. I've seen Blade's video on it, I've seen Sam's video, I've seen a lot of players' videos on it, and man, this card really is nuts. For those of you that don't know, I'm reading it off, of course, my handy dandy app, Dragoon of Red Eyes. So it's a level 8 spellcaster, it's a fusion, 3000 attack, 2500 defense. It takes Dark Magician plus Red Eyes Black Dragon plus a dragon effect monster. But listen to this effect. Neither player can target or destroy this card with card effects. Okay. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. You can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of normal monsters used as fusion material for this card summon. So it's not even once per turn. That's like insane. And then once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, this is a quick effect, mind you, you can discard one card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And if you do that, this card gains 1,000 attack. In a nutshell, that's insane. Now, do I think people are going to find ways to play this card? Absolutely. Do I think that they're going to follow the OCG and then try to bring it here to the TCG? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to be one of the craziest cards to come to the OCG? Absolutely. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I think the card is insane, and I had to mention it, even if it's not one of the top 5 cards that we get coming to the TCG, in the eventual time. I think it'll definitely be a card that we see played, because I know people are going to try to play this card. This card is absolutely insane. Like what is this? Like, this is just, it's so broken. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, those are the cards, you guys. Let me know any cards that I might have forgotten. Again, if you're going to purchase any of these cards, feel free to use my TCG player link. It's down in the description below. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys let me know any other cards that I missed. Of course, we only kept it to a top 5 with a couple exceptions, but we definitely will be going into the last part of this series talking about the top 5 XYZs. That'll be coming up soon, so be sure to contribute to that. I think it's great to see fusions back again. Just like I said in the previous video on synchros, I'm glad to see synchros come back. I'm gonna be glad to see fusions come back, glad to see XYZs come back, and just to play Yu-Gi-Oh the way we used to play it before links became a thing. And yeah, and links are included, so it's pretty crazy to me. I think the game is going to be probably one of the craziest times it's ever been to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's going to be one of the most fun times to play Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Let me know again any fusions I forgot, because I'm sure I forgot plenty, but these are the ones I felt that we'll definitely see a lot more representation come April 1st and in Master Rule 5, so make sure you have them on your disposal, and we'll see what happens when the ban list drop. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.